Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Brewington versus Lee.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Brewington, you are here to prove your 3-year-old son, Giovanni, is Mr. Lee's biological child, and you claim Mr. Lee has been a father to your son since the day he was born and is denying paternity because he wants to avoid paying child support. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, you say you've known from day one Giovanni was not your son, and you are here to prove Ms. Brewington is a liar and has been using you for money. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Brewington, you claim you are 100% certain that Mr. Lee is the father, and can you tell me how you know?
Yes, Your Honor. I am without a doubt 100% certain that he is my son's father. Not only was I only sleeping with him, we were actually working on our relationship. We already have a child from a previous situation. We got back together. We're working on us. So when I found out I was pregnant, I didn't think it was gonna be a shock or a surprise or anything like that.
And you say you know 100% you're not the biological father of Giovanni.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
I want to know why you have doubt.
At the time that Gio was conceived, we were not having no type of intercourse. We were not cool at the moment.
You don't believe you were working on the relationship at the time Giovanni was conceived?
No, not at all.
You weren't together?
No, not at all.
Your Honor, I was living with him. We were living in the same household, in the same bed.
Were you living in the same house?
Around the time, yes.
But you weren't together?
Exactly.
So were you sharing a bed?
Yes, ma'am.
And fluids.
No.
Clearly, yes, clearly. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
No, ma'am.
I will say, although she did not say it as eloquently as I would have liked, you can still be sexually active with one another and not be in a relationship. So I guess this does beg the question, were you still having sex?
At the time of conceivement, no.
So you're saying during the window of time when Giovanni was conceived, you are certain that even though Ms. Brewington lived in your house and shared your bed, you weren't intimate with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I conceived my son in February. My birthday is February 1st.
All right.
And from the 1st until about Valentine's Day, we were in there.
Take me back to, listen.
Not at all, not at all.
Take me back to the day you found out you were pregnant.
Okay, I found out that I was pregnant. I actually went to the doctor to just re-up on my birth control. They said, oh, you actually missed your last shot. I didn't even realize it. They said that they had to do a pregnancy test before they could go ahead with the birth control. So I went ahead, they did a pregnancy test. It came up positive. I told him, he did not believe me at all. He went out and got 3 pregnancy tests, made me take all of them. They were all positive. And he was like, well, that's not my baby because we didn't have sex. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We've been having sex, and then the last time we probably had sex was Valentine's Day, maybe a few days after. I'm like, this is our whole love baby.
Not.
Like, no, come on now. My son was due.
Definitely not.
He was born in November.
So you seem so certain, Mr. Lee.
I do, because I'm gonna explain it to you, Your Honor. How she said her birthday is the 2nd of February.
It's not.
Her birthday's on the 2nd of February.
My birthday's on the 1st of February.
2nd.
My birthday is on the, how you gonna tell me what day I was born? I was born on the 1st of February.
He said it's the 2nd.
Yeah. Look, it's close. It's the same.
He around there just like he was around. Exactly. See, exactly.
No. So,
exactly. His sperm is like that too.
Because she came to my house complaining about how I didn't say happy birthday, that I didn't get nothing for her birthday, and I didn't. Because
and then he
the simple
turned
reason.
around and decided to treat me for my birthday, Your Honor. Yes, okay, for the next 2 weeks, thank you.
No, we not cool. Why would I say happy birthday? You say happy birthday to people you like.
Well, go ahead and say how you feel then.
Yeah. I wasn't happy, so happy birthday didn't fit.
Okay, so now understood this. So you both have a different story about what happened in the relationship. So let's fast forward to the birth. Throughout this pregnancy, as you prepared for the birth of Giovanni, was Mr. Lee present?
No, he was telling people I was just getting fat. He was like, she just eats a lot of fast food. Everybody was my friends were rubbing my stomach. I'm showing ultrasounds to people. He's like, don't believe her, she's just fat. The entire time. I'm talking about, I'm going into labor. He's like, no, you're not.
What kind of denial is this? Mr. Lee, you're taking denial too far.
Exactly.
This is what it was. She was trying to get back with me, but I wasn't, so she probably felt like if we have a child, we might work out.
As soon as he found out that my son was a boy, he's like, oh, that's my boy. That's my boy. I love him. That's my son. I need to be there.
So take me to the day you gave birth to Giovanni. Was Mr. Lee there?
He came after I had given birth because he had work, but he showed right up. He actually didn't even, they asked about the birth certificate and everything. He signed the birth certificate. He named my son. He was like, no, I'm not letting you give my son no dumb name. I'm naming him. I actually told him I was like, you don't want to wait until we do a DNA test. I offered the DNA test in the hospital.
She did not say that, Your Honor. She did not say that.
But you signed the birth certificate, right?
Yes, I did.
If you had all this denial and you say she eating fast food and this isn't even a pregnancy, but then you get there and execute a birth certificate?
It was the right thing at that moment. We already had a previous child, like I said, so.
You just go around signing birth certificates.
Because I'm gonna be around a child, I might as well.
Kids
it's not like I can come there and.
Just because he had one doesn't mean that he needed to collect them all. If he didn't think that was his child, he should not have done that.
You said that?
Actual cases.
Her car had come through and slammed me up against the toolbox.
There was a torpedo coming at my face.
Personal injury court cases everyone's going to be talking about.
In my head, it was like, we already had a previous child. I'm gonna be in this child's life regardless because.
You're making an execution of a birth certificate sound like a consolation prize or a consolation move. Well, since I'm gonna do this, I might as well. That's not why you sign a birth certificate.
I didn't know I couldn't take my name back off of it. I wasn't aware of that. Or else I wouldn't have signed it. If I wasn't.
So you weren't aware of the law.
Legal document.
Well, what I'm saying is, it just doesn't make any sense that you had absolutely no thought that this child could be yours, and then you walk in and you just say, well, I might as well just sign the birth certificate like you supersizing your fries or something. That doesn't make sense. Well, and then, Ms. Brewington, it doesn't really make sense to me. Is why are you offering him a DNA test if you are 100% sure?
That was because I was 100% sure. If he has any doubts, I carried the baby, I birthed the baby. If you have any doubts, go ahead. I don't mind making you look stupid. That's why I'm here now.
Okay, so your point is I'm tired of hearing the denial. If you want a DNA test, let's take it now because I know you're the father.
Exactly.
Well, Your Honor.
And then, when she offered the DNA test, why didn't you take it?
I figured when I signed it, I knew she was gonna put me on child support because I was already on child support. Now, with the previous child that we had, I had to do a DNA test at the child support services. I figured if I sign it, they're gonna take me right off after I do the DNA test. We came there, and then they said, no, we don't do a DNA test because you already signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
She kept saying, it's not the case. They told me right away we don't do that.
Listen, Mr. Lee, you gonna learn making babies in the country and don't know the laws.
Yeah.
Because once you sign that birth certificate, you're the legal father.
That's what they told me.
You had done what is called an acknowledgement of paternity.
Well, I had another reason I did not think that it was mine is one of her friends, a good friend of her, actually told me that I wasn't the father.
Really?
She told me that she knows who's the
told
father.
Him that because she wanted to sleep with him.
I'm still talking.
I actually caught them sleeping together.
What? Oh, so that's why you think this person was just telling him these lies.
Because it was shade the whole time, because he was sleeping with her, and she knew that if we stopped dealing with each other, because I told her we were working on us, and she knew that if we stopped dealing with each other, then she was free to go and be with their little maybe baby that they might have.
We never.
What?
Your Honor.
What did the friend tell you, Mr. Lee?
She told me that she actually is friends with the dude who is the father, and that he's trying to get in contact with Brittany, but she keeps ignoring him and wants me to be the dad since I'm there already. But for me, it didn't make a change. It was just more verification for me, because it didn't change nothing. It wouldn't take me off child support. It wouldn't change the situation with the child. There's only more information I could use.
His whole life has been about getting off of child support, honestly. That's what he talks about all day long. If he thought, it was a chance, because I bought home DNA tests as well. He told me he didn't trust me to swab his mouth.
No.
He didn't trust me to put the correct DNA into the box.
No, it's a home test. Who does that? And she told me herself I wasn't the father, so.
I told him that in anger, Your Honor.
Multiple times.
So you know when you ring that bell, you can't unring it. That is a statement you can't take back.
But he looks exactly like him. And then, yes, I say it, and then if he ever tries to run with it, I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and get a deep. That's their baby. That's his baby picture. Look.
So,
But look at
so
that.
you're saying this is a picture of Giovanni on the left. Oh, he is adorable.
And that's Jay.
And this
Jarrell.
is Mr. Lee as a child on the right.
Yes.
And you say you see a definite resemblance.
Between them two, yes.
They're light skinned.
When you look at this beautiful young boy, you really don't believe he's yours now that he's here in the world.
No, I don't really see too much of me. Maybe, yeah, like I said, we light skinned, we got curls, but other than that, it could be anybody.
They got the same
And-
hairline, nose.
And so, but after you sign the birth certificate, do you then go forward being a father to Giovanni? Like, do you step up for him?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're
I've been there.
obviously responsible
He is
as it
around.
relates to child support because you signed the birth certificate.
I'm always there. I've never not been there.
You're
Yes.
the man he knows to be his dad.
father.
Yes, he calls me daddy.
Calls you daddy.
Yes, yes.
With all of that,
Yes.
you still don't believe he's your biological son.
No.
Your Honor, that is his baby. And I can't wait, because the devil is a liar and this is Lucifer, so stop. No, I'm not,
Well, you might be the devil then. We'll see.
You all are a lot. And you talking about him like a dog, Miss Brewington. You know you love that man. It's so obvious. I don't know why we in here. You good though. You got all the sayings and you got all the snaps.
I'm just saying
And all you
that.
gonna do is
Just
snap
that.
back. Right back over there.
No, Your Honor,
Because
I
you
don't want
love
that.
that man. Ms. Brewington, I can see the passion in you. And even though you're making jokes and he's Lucifer, this isn't easy. No mother wants to have a son, 3 years old, a beautiful baby like that, and consistently have the man you believe to be his father deny him, have to deal with all of this drama. I knew
shouldn't have slept
behind
around.
all of the laughter and all of
It's
this.
not right. It's not right as you put me through this.
All right.
It's not at all. I really do care
Look,
about
if you don't want that, you should keep your legs closed. That's all it is.
Then that means she wouldn't be having sex with you either.
Well, then she.
Which,
if it was
hold
just
on,
me, she
hold
wouldn't
on,
know what
hold
to
on,
call.
Mr. Lee. Before you condemn, you also have to understand the part you had to
Oh,
play
yeah,
in.
yeah, I do.
Because Giovanni's 3. He calls you daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I could only imagine if his soul and spirit could truly process the fact that the man that I look at and I say, Daddy, when I come running up,
Right.
is standing in a courtroom right now, clowning my mother, but also denying me.
him.
And see, we have to think about that. It's not always jokes, and I always say that we don't clown in here because we're not running a circus.
Right.
This really is a courtroom where we try to understand whether or not someone is a child's father because that is important information. I just had to say that because Giovanni deserves to know. And when it comes to his life and his paternity, he deserves there to be a level of respect, decorum surrounding this result, because whether it goes either way, this child still has to live with it. Let's go to the result. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. In the case of Brewington versus Lee, when it comes to 3-year-old Giovanni Lee, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
Told y'all.
Hold up.
I already knew it. I told you.
Don't look at me like that. I don't know God's
Who
plan.
else? It was you that
Did
was.
you just
do that.
inject God in this?
I did not put him in this. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just, look, hold on. Now, the plan of Giovanni being on this earth might be God's, but the lie you told about his paternity is your own. So just claim it. So let's just own it. Because you done called this man everything but a child of God.
Damn, I put you through a lot.
It's all good.
This is 3 years.
I am
3 years.
so sorry.
I have to ask you, do you know who his biological father is?
I have an idea.
You just have an idea.
I have an idea.
I want you to bring him to this courtroom. And I want you to submit to this DNA testing again. And I want you to commit yourself to getting this answer for your child.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm fine with that.
One reason why this courtroom is so important is because it meets people where they are, and then it takes them where they need to go. Because it takes you into the truth. That's all I deliver all day is truth. And I'm gonna be honest, Ms. Brewington, this was not the news you probably expected or wanted, but it's the news you needed. Because you're not here on this earth to be a liar. You're not here on this earth to live in denial. Because that cuts off the possibilities for your life. Now you're living in the truth. I want you to use all of your strength and your energy and your goodwill to help your child identify who his biological father is. And we are here to help you. Do you understand?
Yes.
We have counseling and resources for you. I want you to go talk to Dr. Jeff and work through this. And I will see you back in this courtroom. Court is adjourned.